foe, Minnesota Vikings, and the Detroit Lions do just that. The final from Ford Field, 34-23. Detroit keeps its playoff hopes intact, and they squash Minnesota's hopes of capturing that NFC North Division title right here at Ford Field. What a massive day for Detroit Lions and its fans. Over 66,000 people in the stands here today. Lomas Brown, I'm Danny Rogers here on the BetMGM Grand Postgame live show here from Ford Field. You know what comes next.
Check this out.
Am I starting it?
Start it, please.
I'm not confident, but I'll start it. All right, ready for this? Okay, ready. Ready?
There you go. I'm ready. Oh, she brought it to me, and I'm going to eat it, and I'm going to bring it down.
Woo!
Because I
couldn't bring it back.
She couldn't
Thank you
bring
for
it
eating
back.
that.
I brought it back for her.
That was we really, puzzle ourselves after every game now, trying to come up with something new. You guys expect it, so we try to deliver. You saw the final, 34-23. We have to talk first because I've got a big man up here, former offensive line. Penei Sewell on 3rd and 7, runs a route right to the outside. No hesitation, catches that ball to convert for a first down. First off, from your standpoint, offensive line, how difficult is that ball to catch it?
Danny, I was up on the 7th floor, almost jumped from the 7th floor down to the field. When that big fella went up and snagged that ball and brought it in, just when he went in motion, Danny, I'm like, wait a minute, the big fella's going in motion. They're not going to throw the ball to him, are they? They threw it to him. He came up with the catch. Big first down. That's how you do it. That's how you tap into that talent that all us big fellas have deep down inside. Beautiful catch by Penei Sewell. Yes.
Diving too. He gets up, almost smacks the defender in the face right in front of him. He's like, don't touch my ball. I caught this. I deserve this first down. I mean, it was the most obvious, non-obvious play. He was in motion, wide open, throwing the dang ball. Jared Goff did just that.
And I guess they didn't expect him, but the big he looked so good going in motion, Dan. It tricked me. So I seen the big fella in the hallway. Of course, I gave him a chest bump because he represented for the big guys.
He sure did. You'll get to hear from Penei Sewell after this. I interviewed him right moments after the game. Great interview, great insight from Penei. We have to start of your first takeaway from this massive game here at Ford Field where Detroit Lions dominated pretty much all 4 quarters.
Danny, it's been a lot of years since the Lions have said they could play meaningful football this late in the year. It feels so good. 60-some thousand people here cheering them on, and the Lions didn't disappoint. They handled Minnesota, I thought, from the opening whistle all the way through. And that's what now we're getting used to seeing. This team is playing very good ball at the right time, and it was so lovely to see them get revenge against a Minnesota team that we should have beat in week 3.
Detroit handing Minnesota just their 3rd loss on the season. Vikings go to 10-3. All right, the head coach, Dan Campbell, standing by the podium. Let's hear what he had to say about his team's win.
Listen, man, our guys played hard, and they believed in the game plan, and they executed it. It wasn't perfect, but I think that shows signs of growth again. The fact we didn't play a perfect game, but we did what we had to do to win that. We've gotten better in all areas. Our defense made plays when we needed them, and our offense was able to control that game. And, man, I was proud of them. I thought 2 of the biggest plays were Isaiah Buggs, the sack fumble right before halftime that Kirby got, and then, our punt unit. Just on the fake punt there was C.J. Moore. Those guys, Pitt and Rodriguez and Cabinda, and then C.J. running. It was just a hell of a job, So, but our guys, I was proud of them. It's a good win.
Jared, that's deep in your own territory with that fake punt, not 32, driven 7 or 8 field goals. But what did you see there that gave you confidence to try that one?
What are you talking about? Oh yeah, just we knew the look they were going to give us, and I got a lot of trust in our guys. We've worked things a number of ways, seen all kinds of looks, and those guys just make it work, and I trust CJ.
Jared told us this week that he thought he was playing the best football of his career. Is that hard to argue with that?
No. Nope, can't argue with that. I mean, he is. He's playing outstanding, and he's a direct link as to why we are playing better. He's playing really good football, and he's taking care of the football. He's making big throws, man. He's been highly accurate, and just, man, there's a lot of faith in him, and he's got a lot of faith in us. And so, man, I thought he had another hell of a day. He stepped in there, and I'm tell you what, he's cool, he's calm, he's collected, he's making these throws, and the O-line is blocking well. You know, they're protecting the heck out of him. So I don't disagree. It was good to see, man.
And this team invested a lot to get deep play threats and DJ and Jameson. To have those guys do that today meant a lot.
Meant we were able to hit some explosive plays, you know, and I think that's, you know, when you look a little bit at our overall efficiency, particularly in the run game, it wasn't where we wanted to be. We can be better. We should be better. But, man, you can make up for things if you're able to get the explosive passes, which we got. I mean, hell, 2 of those are for 2 touchdowns, you know. So that's to be able to deliver that element to our offense is huge, you know, because I feel like with that, you know, we're pretty well balanced. We can kind of play any type of game we need to offensively, and that's a good thing. And it all starts with our offensive line.
Describe the emotion a little bit. It seems like, I don't know myself, but the guys doing something that hasn't been done in the franchise in years, but you guys are like feeling like you should be here. You guys are not overly excited. It seems like you can be coming here, not really too much overexcited. I guess, like, just how hungry are you guys to continue this?
I'm drained. But I'm excited, believe me. I mean, the guys know how I felt all week about this game. But yeah, look, I don't think there's a surprise here. We you know, I've said it before. You know, it's hard when you get down in the dumps and you were where we were at. You know, it's easy to lose faith, but these guys never did, and we stayed true to what we're about. And they knew, they believed we were one play away, and that's where we've been. And so now we're making the play. You know, we're making the one extra play. It's not costing us, you know, and we're able to overcome some of these mistakes we were making earlier. So, no, our guys, they know they belong. They know they belong, and they know when they play football like we've been playing the last 6 weeks, we can play with anybody. That's the truth, you know.
So, Dan, in that context, what does this win mean? Because
It means we won another one, and now we got the Jets, who are a very physical team. We got to go play in the Meadowlands in the weather, is what it means. Proud of them.
Yeah, but then what did this game mean if you're so young and so drained from this game?
It means like all of them. I mean, it feels great, but it's exhausting in a great way. It's fun to be out there. It really is. But no, listen, it's big. I mean, you know, we certainly we didn't want them to come in here and win the division at our place either. You know, but there's more to it than that. It still goes back to making the plays that you have to make, playing clean football. Don't turn it over. Get you a takeaway. Reduce the penalties, which we weren't great on, but we were good enough. We made explosive passes. We had explosive plays. We got something in the punt. We got a takeaway, and we won because of that. We made.
Dan, you talked about Garrett before, but what has changed to get to this level? What are you doing maybe earlier this season than last season?
Yeah, I think to this point, you know, some of the things early, I think he was putting a lot of pressure on himself to you know, to try to make, like, really stressing to make plays. I mean, early in the year, you know, we're trying to outscore some people, you know, and I feel like we're in a much better place defensively than we were, and that has a direct correlation with the way he plays, you know, and honestly with most quarterbacks.
You mentioned the explosive plays. If you were one to name the explosive.
Yeah.
Just curious the genesis of that play again. Like, how much have you run in practice? What it looked like?
Yeah, we were prepared. We were prepared to, you know, that was part of a package we were going to have that we could use in the red zone if needed. You know, and then it felt like that was the right time to bring it out. We had good practice reps with it. You know, we'd used them earlier in that fast motion, and so we felt really good about it being there. You know, because when you see him coming, you're not going to just think he's going to the flat. He's going to block you one more time like he did before. So it was a great call. We trusted him. Look, we know what kind of athlete he is. He's a phenomenal athlete, you know. I mean, we talk about who knows what kind of tackle he's going to be. I think a pretty dang good one. He already is, but he could be a Hall of Fame tight end, in my opinion, too, if he wanted to lose a little bit of weight. But But he is. He's got real good hands. He's got real good feet. We felt like he was going to be wide open, which he was, and we told him stay in bounds, and he did. So,
Defensively,
Stopping
you
the
had,
run for them, stopping the run.
well, let me go here. Go ahead.
defensively, you had two guys come through Marcus schedule to stop. Jefferson got off and got his save.
Sure did.
Dalvin Cook was shut down. It seemed like you had a concerted plan with your DBs to kind of get involved. What did you, I guess, do in the game plan to kind of slow down Cook there?
Yeah, look, we just, there again, it was about emphasis on, we put a lot of strain on the front seven is what we did, honestly. And it was gap responsibility. We asked the nickel to do a lot of things. But, man, we had to fit it. We asked our big boys in the middle to have to bang away. Mack and Bugs, we put a lot on those guys. And so really it was more about, those guys up front and our linebackers. They were going to have to take that away because we used an enormous amount of resources on the back end with Jefferson. And as you can see, yes, he did. He's still, he's a hell of a player, man. I think he's one of these rare dudes you don't see very often. And when you do, he's hard to contain. So, and look, he's making plays in double coverage now. And, you're off just a little bit. You're not quite where you need to be on your landmark to have help over the top, and you see what happens. He makes a play. So, he's a heck of a player, man.
You said this is not a surprise. They should be here. Do you see your team gaining that swagger or whatever where you do expect to win every single game?
What do you think? When you look at him, what do you think?
I think yes, but when did you start to see it? Like just during this streak?
No, I felt like we've had confidence for a while. We've been confident. It's a confident crew, and it was a matter of just learning how to win, growing a little bit. We got a lot of young guys, particularly on defense, and we're playing better defense. We're being smart with the football, and we're just playing good, smart football right now. That's it. There's no secret sauce or anything. And in the meantime, we're getting some guys back, too.
Maybe share a little bit more about the defense and you referenced it with golf and not having to do as much now. And this is 2 straight weeks. It wasn't just a fumble. You have to be fourth and stuff. Really. Good job there with Aaron.
He's doing a great job. I got a ton of faith in Aaron, always have. And, he rallied the troops. He never let them give in. He never let them lose faith. And he just kept coaching his ass off, as did that whole staff. And they've begun to grow. They've grown, and we kind of had to bring some stuff. We had to pull everything back to the studs, man. We had to break it down and simplify, and now we're able to start pulling it back in, man. We've started to implement a lot of things that we were doing even last year. So now that we've got them back to where to where they are playing with confidence, they trust the guy next to them, and all these young guys are growing. Now we can be a little more complex.
Someone who played here and coaches here, you know how rare it is for Lions football to be playoff for contention in December. Who how it feels to be part of that? That
Yeah, look, it was one of the reasons why I wanted to be here. I said that in my opening press conference. Anybody that read that or saw that, it was one of the reasons I wanted to be here because I knew this could be a special place, man. This is one of those areas where you get a winner here in Detroit and it'll be something special. And it's not like that everywhere. It's not. And so to get this place back on its feet, man, play winning football, something that hadn't been done here in whatever that is, 20-something years or over. And, it is. But we're not there yet. We're not there. We're playing pretty good football, and we just won another one. And now, man, yeah, it feels good. Let's go get the next one. That's all we can worry about.
You talk about the Bugs being so important. Can you speak to what guys like Bugs, these Cody's rated, maybe guys that aren't as heralded, but it seems like every week they're kind of the big guys that you seem to make.
They are glue guys. You got to have guys like that on your team. You have to. If you don't have enough of those guys, you won't win in this league. And you need a certain amount of them. You certainly need the guys that can give you some juice over the top and all those things as well. But, man, if you don't have the guys that are just 100% unselfish, do exactly what they're asked to do all the dirty work, it's hard to get places. But we do. We got a lot of those guys, and we trust a lot of those guys, and we value them. I mean, they play a huge part for us. And I think that's another thing about this team I think is unique. These guys understand they have a role. They have a role in this team. They have a role when they go into the game, and they've embraced that. And if each guy does that, Usually good things happen. That's where we're at.
Mike, real quick, real quick, we had 5 penalties in the first quarter, which is more than we've had the last 2 games.
Yeah.
We just wait for you guys to settle into the game a little bit.
Yeah, it was too much. It was too much for us. But we talked about it. It's one of the things I said last night. I knew this was going to be one of those games, man. This was going to be an energetic game. I knew our fans were going to be here. They showed up, which they certainly did. It was, the atmosphere, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. It's electric. And you can't beat it. So, but I knew there's that possibility of, because what you don't want is they're uptight and they're so, they're so wired they do something that we don't want to do, and that happened a couple of times, and that's unacceptable. It's not what we're about. It's not what we talk about. Everything is between the lines and snap the whistle. So, but we did. We got them calmed down. They settled in, and they were able to overcome those things. Okay.
Really, one of my favorite quotes there from head coach Dan Campbell is him saying, offensive tackle Penei Sewell could be a Hall of Fame tight end if he lost some weight. I challenge him to just go out and do it regardless of his weight. Why not?
Might as well. Let the big man stay big and throw him the ball anyway, Danny. He don't have to lose weight to catch the ball. Let him catch it big.
Penei Sewell just became a dad, too, about a month and a half ago to little baby Malachi. So he is playing just some of the best ball of his career here in just year 2. Let's take a look, though, at the final stats here between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Over 460 total yards for Detroit. Something that sticks out to me, though, right off the bat, Lomas, only 22 rushing yards for Vikings. They have a guy named Dalvin Cook on the roster.
That's right. You're absolutely right, Danny. That is the stat of the day right there. 22 rushing yards to hold him to. And Dalvin had been killing us throughout the years, had been having big games against the Lions, and I guess the Lions decided today, no more. They were on Dalvin early in that game. There was no holes for him to go through. They did a nice job of controlling the line of scrimmage. Our D-line did. So it was nothing for Dalvin to do really today. So I thought they did a great job of making Minnesota one-dimensional today.
That was exactly it. One-dimensional was a big thing. Justin Jefferson, of course, hauling in 223 yards. He wasn't finding the end zone, though, and that's one positive.
Great point, Danny, because he's a different human being.
Yes.
He's different. The guy is special, man. Justin Jefferson, he's one of the top receivers in this league, and you could tell by the day that he had 11 for 223 yards. But, like you say, Danny, no touchdowns. So that was a good thing. We kept him out the end zone, but he is a special player.
Yeah, it was Dalvin Cook and Adam Thielen getting in on the scoring for Minnesota. Let's take a look at Jared Goff's stat, QB1. Head coach Dan Campbell is also confirming to us that Goff is playing the best ball of his career, and that these Detroit Lions winning is a direct link to their starting quarterback. There you see over 69% completion rate today, over 330 yards. That's why Coach Campbell keeps talking about the 5 guys up front blocking for him. 3 touchdowns and over 120 passer rating. We thought Jared played great last week against Jacksonville. How is he continuing to elevate his game each week?
You know what, Danny? This is the thing that impresses me with Jared. He's heard all the whispers. He's heard the things about we need to get a quarterback. We don't think he's the long-term answer. In golf, we don't trust. Well, he's proven to everybody that he is the quarterback for the Detroit Lions. He's been playing super, I think, over the last 3 to 4 weeks. He's been calm. He's been doing everything he's been needing to do, and he's been making the right decisions, winning decisions that have helped this team win throughout these few games. So, Jared, I know you heard the whispers. You're answering all the whispers because you are having a great year.
Jared sure is, and that's why he is our player of the game, because so much of the good things that are happening in this game is, like we mentioned, a direct correlation to Jared Goff. Here, checking out a few of some of his plays here today. Here, he's going to launch this one to who else than rookie wide receiver Jameson Williams. We have to talk about J-Mo, and we will. That's just one of the many explosive plays he completed downfield.
Danny, he's so fast, he had to wait on the ball to get to him. I mean, I can't wait till he gets fully healthy and they really utilize him. But look at the speed, Danny. Just look how he breaks between those 2 guys. Nobody's going to catch him. Nobody's going to catch him.
He didn't do much either.
Didn't have to.
I can't get any gauge of his speed unless I'm running out there, so maybe I'll challenge him to a run there. Here's another 40-yard haul. DJ Chark getting in the end zone here. That's his third touchdown of the season. Back-to-back games with touchdowns. Well, I lied. Not back-to-back games with touchdowns, but DJ Chark did have 98 receiving yards last week. You would have thought he got into the end zone. Explosiveness is just what this offense is defined by. And offensive coordinator Ben Johnson says, look, 12-yard play or 12-play series, 15-play series, those are fine, but just give me a 2 or 3 play series and a touchdown. Well, that DJ Chark one was one play.
Absolutely. Danny, he has such a catch radius. The guy is unbelievable, and I could see why the coaching staff have been licking their chops to get him healthy and get him in the game. He runs precise routes, but the ball, if it's anywhere in his radius, he's going to go get that ball. And I know Jared has the love that he could put the ball. It don't have to be right on the guy, and he knows his guy will go get the ball for him.
This receiving core is so healthy. I have to take a double look if it's DJ Chark, Josh Reynolds, or Jamison Williams. Amon-Ra St. Brown, extremely elite. He's just on the shorter end of those guys, so I can kind of pick him out a little bit easier. But Amon-Ra St. Brown also had a day, 68 yards, no touchdowns, but he was described as Jared Goff's security blanket during the week, and Coach Brunell's like, yeah, you can call him that.
Absolutely. The sun god? Absolutely, you could call him that. Because you could tell Jared looks for this guy. And Danny, I said it and I'll say it again. The guy has an old soul. He's been here before. He plays like a 10-year veteran. You can see it each and every week he's out there on the field. And you know him and Jared, they got that chemistry going right now. I expect that chemistry to just keep getting better and better and better, especially when we add the other guys into the mix.
This receiving corps is just going to be fighting over Jared Goff's glove, as it should be. It's so deep in there. Okay, let's hear from the quarterback himself, Jared Goff, standing by at the podium now.
Ready?
Last time you caught Eric threw a fast tune off the tackle.
Yeah, it's been a while. I don't know if we've had one this year. Do it in practice quite a bit. It doesn't often get called. I think that was kind of the perfect scenario for it. We wanted to run those plays kind of close to the goal line for touchdowns, but the scenario came up, which is going to be similar, where they're going to load the box, and he got wide open. It was pretty good. No different than any other play, to be honest with you. I think, making sure Panay knew the situation, not to run out of bounds, just go down once you get the first down. That's all we talked about. But it was alike any other play we had. It was good.
Is that the reason why those guys are catching balls on Fridays? I mean, you guys see that on Fridays. And Panay been one of those guys? And you've been, okay, Panay.
Yeah. We joked last week that we've won every game that they've caught balls on Fridays because we didn't do it the Thursday game. We didn't have time. Yeah. So, we've joked about that. But, we'll continue to do that, and Panay's got pretty good hands.
Jared, this team went out and got unique play threats with DJ and Jameson, and hit those guys on huge plays today. How much of a difference was it today?
Yeah, it changes our offense entirely and our whole way of doing things and the whole thought process when you have two guys like that who are legit vertical home run threats, and we were able to show them both off today. It's a lot of fun as a quarterback when you have guys that are getting healthy at receiver and you have guys that are explosive like that and can make those splash plays, and it's really a lot of fun.
Do you feel that you're playing best football since you've been here in Detroit for so long?
Yeah, a lot of things. We're playing well as a team, certainly, but I think offensively we're settling into our identity really firmly in these last 5 or 6 weeks of who we are, what we want to do, how we want to do things, and whenever whenever you know what you are and come into a game really knowing the plan and really knowing how you want to attack them as a whole 11 on offense, not just the coaches, it can change things tremendously, and it has for us offensively, and I'm just a piece of that.
You talk about it every week, but just that offensive line again.
Yeah, incredible.
What's that like week after week, just sitting back there?
It's really nice, man. It's really nice, especially when you look around the league and you see not every team's like that. And I'm lucky to play behind them, and they're a force right now. And Logan's stepping up today, doing a good job in there at right guard. And we're able to do a lot of things offensively that not many teams can do because of how good they are.
Jared, I wanted to ask you about the.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it feels good. It makes me feel like we're making a lot of people eat what they said, mostly. We know who we are and we know what we can do. And yeah, things sucked early on, obviously, and who knows how long that could have lasted, right? But trusted ourselves, trusted the work we put in, trusted Dan, trusted the coaching staff, and have we're almost back to 500 now. And who would have thought that at 1-6? It would have been a long way to go, but. With that being said, we're 6-7, and the reality is we still have to win quite a few games to get into the playoffs. I'm sure we're doing a lot of good things right now, but we've got 4 more, and if we can win all of them, sure we have a great chance. But we'll see how it goes.
Touchdown to Charlie.
Sorry.
Touchdown to Charlie, you turned to the sidelines and gave a smile and a shrug. Beyond playing the best football of your career, can you just talk to your swagger, your confidence right now, just how you feel?
Yeah, feel great. Feel really good, and I think kind of how I've spoken to and. Yeah, I feel great, but I feel great because our offensive line is playing the best ball I've been behind in an offensive line. Our receivers are healthy and they're playing really good ball. We're running the ball well. Like, it all goes into it. But yes, I do feel confident. I do feel great. I feel like things are coming together for us offensively. Again, I'm happy to be a big piece of that and be the quarterback of that.
Can you speak to Dan's influence, what he's done and not done to sort of help this performance?
Yeah, I think, it's. He's the same guy every day. He's been the same guy since I've been here, and he's the same guy every week and approaches everything with energy and confidence and enthusiasm. And I think when things were bad, he did things, he made tweaks and he tried different things. He tried this, he tried that. And sometimes that's what it takes. As a head coach, you have to try different things and see what sticks. And I think, whenever it was that he changed whatever it was, I can't put my thumb on it, but something in the last 6 weeks has changed, and it's been you can feel it. It's different. I said this after the game, like the work speaks to it and the results speak to it. Yeah, you can say things feel different optimistically in training camp, and they did, but the results are different, and what we're doing, playing and play out on offense, defense, and special teams is different than it was 7 weeks ago or whatever that may be. So why is that? I don't know, but Dan has tweaked something in those times to make it work. Yeah. That's fun. I've never done that. No, I'm happy it was his first one, and they kind of busted a coverage there, and I didn't throw a very good ball. I guess I was so shocked how open he was, and kind of was like, is there somebody back there? But kind of looked like I kicked it to him, but he caught it, and touchdown nonetheless.
What about that game building off stuff? We always talk all these different phrases, what's a quarterback supposed to blocking or running and all on the same
Yeah.
time, but with the defense, Dan said it's a really important game.
No doubt.
So I'm just curious, when the defense is playing at this level,
Yeah.
How does it affect the pressure you put on yourself in the game?
Sure. Well, I don't feel like if I'm 3rd and 10 and 1 and 2, 3 aren't open, throw the check down. It's short. You punt it away. You're not thinking that you have to throw things into windows that aren't there because of how many points you think you need to score or how many conversions you think you need on 3rd down. You're really playing the game and taking what they give you is the best way to put it. And we've done that the last handful of weeks. We've trusted our defense, and they've played some of their best ball these last handful of weeks, and it's a lot of fun. Now, is everything perfect? No. Are we perfect on offense? Are they perfect? No. But like the trust that we have in each other right now, the confidence that we have in each other is greater than all that.
You mentioned before about we're making some people eat some of the stuff that they said. Is that a motivator?
No, I'm kind of joking. I really don't care. It's the way this league goes, and anytime you play quarterback or any position really, and you lose 1-6, you're going to get all the heat in the world. So no, I'm halfway joking, but that is
Only halfway.
only halfway. But I guess what I'm saying is I'm much more focused on what we're doing, and of course, yeah, it's fun to do that, but that's a sub-product of the results.
Spread the ball around. Was that by design, or was that just the way things kind of developed?
Say that again, I'm sorry?
Just seemed like concerted effort just to spread the ball around and keep them
Yeah.
off balance. Was that the plan, or was that the way it developed defensively? The answer defensively to it?
Yeah, it was part of the plan, I think. And certainly in the red zone, we wanted to get everyone involved. I think we kind of expect, as we continue to go with St. Brown, the attention there is going to continue to grow higher and higher, and maybe he catches some doubles here and there. They're going to put a lot of attention towards him, and we're going to need the other guys to come show up, and like they have every week. But I think this week, yeah, there was an emphasis on that. Hey, man, St. Brown's been doing some good things. We may have a little bit more attention on them, and everyone's going to be involved.
Good evaluation for names right now?
Perfect. Perfect.
Thank you, guys.
As you now go on
Go ahead, yeah.
As you now head into a stretch here in December where playoffs are a consideration, you've gone through that in LA, with the Super Bowl. Do you feel that you can give some value with the team with that and knowing and you feel like it's expected about knowing what it's like?
Yeah, we've got a lot of guys like that, though. But yes, I think, sure, if it comes down to the wire and we need one or two at the end, absolutely. But we've got a lot of guys who have experience there and know what they're doing. And I don't think there's anything I can say or do that's going to make guys realize how big the moment is. Or, I think it's each game counts the same. And how do we come back on Wednesday this week and reload and get ready for the Jets and try to beat them and do it again for 3 more weeks after that. But, yeah, do my best as a leader and a quarterback, and that's about it. All right, guys. Thank you. No.
Not only is quarterback Jared Goff making a name for himself in Detroit history books, wide receiver rookie Jameson Williams is as well. Take a look at this stat right here. Jameson is just the 4th wide receiver in Detroit Lions history to score a touchdown in his first 2 games. And that helped Jared Goff secure his 12th throwing touchdown, 12th straight home game with a throwing touchdown, tied for the 4th longest streak in team history. Those two guys, coming in together, breaking some records. Sounds pretty nice to me.
Think about this, Danny. We had Herman Moore, one of the greatest receivers here. Calvin Johnson, G-O-A-T, a GOAT here. And then we got 2 receivers, Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown, breaking records, just breaking all kind of records, doing things that haven't been done. And it's a testimony not only to those guys and the hard work they put in, but to this offensive staff, Ben Johnson, and Jared Goff being able to deliver, get the ball to those guys, and getting the understanding and the chemistry with his receiving group.
That was J-Mo's one and only catch of the day for 41 yards. So that put him right midway up there with the receivers on this Detroit Lions team. Jared Goff finding 9 different targets in the passing game today. Just flourishing. It's so deep, and it's a beauty to watch it go to work every Sunday.
You know what? I like that word, flourishing.
Yeah,
you're right, because he is right before our very eyes too, Danny. I mean, again, he just stays calm the whole time, no matter whether there's a rush on him or not. He just stays one way, and I'm telling you, that just helps that offense, because you know your leader, the guy that's steering you, he just has a calm demeanor about himself. So if they could just keep building on this and keep getting healthy. I know that's what Coach Campbell said. One of the keys to them playing well is they're getting healthy at the right time. Just keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Yeah, sure thing. Chark, I mentioned it earlier, 90 receiving yards last week against Jacksonville. He comes up with 94 today. Every time DJ Chark caught the ball, it was for about 15.7 yards a catch. He had 1 touchdown in this on 7 targets. You know what yards after the catch were? 40 yards after the catch.
He had some yak.
He had some
yards
yak
after
in
the
there.
catch. Okay, I like yak.
I like how you say yak.
Yeah, I love that.
You know why he did, because if you took, I remember watching one of his catches, and he looked up and scanned that field, and he didn't even care that he just caught it. He's like, I'm gonna go get some more. And it's showing in DJ Chark's game. He was on IR battling an ankle injury. Jacksonville was a big game against his former team to come last week. Now he's just all about consistency, right? Isn't that the big key now?
Absolutely, Danny. Again, you want to be there for your quarterback. You want to be there for your teammates. And what do they say? Your best ability is your availability. So being there is a big, big key to him. Plus, you don't get the opportunity to practice. And we know you have to practice your craft so you can have chemistry with the rest of your teammates. That's one of the setbacks of not being healthy. So, again, getting healthy, being able to practice, get that chemistry with Jared Goff, they could just keep going this way, Danny.
I agree.
Yes.
And Jared Goff's going to keep going that way with wide receiver Josh Reynolds, another lengthy target that can catch the ball downfield. That's what he did today for 51 yards on 5 receptions, also a touchdown, and he was 12 yards after catch. So a little bit less than DJ Chark, but that just shows you how much Chark is setting the bar. This tough guy right here, his arms crossed.
But Danny, look at the average.
Yeah.
DJ, double-figure average. Reynolds, double-figure average. That's great when Jared can spread the ball, and those guys, once they catch the ball, you know they're going to get 10 or more yards. So Ben Johnson, I just can't say enough about him, how he's able to incorporate everybody, make sure it's enough balls for everybody. everybody and be able to put them in positions to where they can have success. He's been doing a great job.
I know this past week we asked running backs coach Deuce Staley, how does he manage the rotation of running backs? Goes the same for offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. How does he manage the rotation of receivers? What's the best way to do that when it's such a deep, wide receiving corps?
You're right. I mean, again, I think Jared's been doing a great job, Danny. He's been spreading the ball. The tight end, you get some. Wide receiver, you get some. Running back, you get you some. I mean, it's just a great job of what he's doing, feeding everybody, keeping everybody happy, and I guess that's part of being the QB1.
Goff fed offensive lineman Penei Sewell today, and I
That's
hope he
right.
feeds him a nice dinner tonight as well.
And man, he better.
Send a nice dinner to the
Thank you.
Sewell house. Penei deserves it for that 3rd and 7 catch to convert on first down and keep the ball in these Detroit Lions' hands. Threatened to score again, which they did off a Michael Badgley kick. I had the chance to talk with Penei Sewell after the game. Here's what the big guy had to say about his big-time catch. Riding on this game today, keeping Detroit in playoff contention, making sure Minnesota did not clinch the title here on your home turf. How did the emotions of this game fuel your team?
Oh man, this one felt good. We knew all week what type of team we're playing against, and we knew the game plan. We knew what time we were on, and then we just came out and execute.
You executed on 3rd and 7. This Detroit Lions offense has to convert. You swing around to the outside. How confident were you in that play working?
Oh, 100%. Without a doubt in my mind, I knew I was going to make a play. When Ben Johnson gives me that confidence, anything in the world is possible for me.
Ben Johnson coordinating that offense, you along the offensive line. This league talks about how good the front 5 is up there on the offensive line. What makes that unit so elite?
I think it starts from the middle to the outside. Frank Ragnow, Jonah Jackson, and Logan, and then me and Dec. We all created a great relationship during the offseason, and we all have genuine love for each other. That's none but my boys from here till the day we die.
Detroit Lions are playing meaningful games in December. How does that spark each and every second of this team?
Oh man, it don't matter December, January, every game from here on out, we're just going to go out there and give it all. That's all we can ask for out of every player and out of every coach. So that's what we plan on doing from here on out.
Congrats. Penei Sewell, all business.
Yes.
Was completely confident he was going to catch that ball. It's the dive at the end for me, Lomas. And I love how your awesome stats guy, Michael, asked you, what would you do on that play? What would you do on that play?
Danny, it would have been a stiff arm. I would have kept my balance, probably tiptoed down the line of scrimmage, and when I got in the end zone, I would have spent the ball, stood over it. Oh, I got
Did
the
you
routine.
ever score a touchdown?
No.
18 years and you never scored a
No,
touchdown.
thank you. That's why I love Ben Johnson for showing the big fellas love. 18 years, and they never showed the big fella any love like that. Thank you, Ben Johnson.
Did you ever catch a pass?
No, Danny. I know they didn't tap this talent.
Oh my
it was
God.
a lot of talent in this body. They didn't
know.
tap. Just a lot. I'm
That
sorry.
is rude.
I'm
Wow.
sorry.
I'm going to
Danny.
have Coach Johnson throw you.
Please, can we talk
Draw-
to him
draw up a
about
play
that?
for
Thank
you
you.
pregame and
Right
launch
up
in
in the
there.
booth. Right up in the radio booth, Danny.
Wow,
I
my
can
heart
do it.
hurts. 18 years of not
Thank you,
catching any
Danny.
balls.
I appreciate
That's
you.
tough.
I appreciate it.
Anyways, all right.
Yes.
After the game, Aiden Hutchinson, defensive end, said Penei Sewell is from a different planet. We have to talk about Hutch, the rookie, who seems like he could be from a
Thank
different
you.
planet as well. He came up with 2 TFLs, a big-time sack. Looked like it could have been 2 sacks in this game. 2 total tackles on the day. 7 sacks so far this season. I want to see 12 sacks from him. I said that in a pregame
You
show.
know what?
People are like, "What are you doing?"
Danny,
It's
he's
not that
close
far
enough.
off.
Right. He's close enough to where it's in reality to where he can get this. And I didn't think so at the beginning of the year. That's a tall task to ask a rookie to get double-figure sacks on the defense that came in a year that wasn't supposed to be that good. But this guy has lived up to the billing. He's been everything advertised. The guy hustles all the time. He's always around the ball. And I think he inspires the rest of those guys on the defensive side of the ball to really, really get out there and give their best. So, hey, I tell you what, been a godsend getting that young man from the University of Michigan.
We might love the Wolverines over here.
Yes.
Gators, Lomas, no thanks. Yeah, Hutch number 2 overall. Then you had the number 12 overall, Jamison Williams getting in and scoring a touchdown today. Staying with the defense here, 4 sacks in total on the day. You had Jerry Jacobs, cornerback,
Yes.
record his first ever sack. It was massive. James Houston, that name ring a bell?
Oh, yeah.
4 sacks.
Oh my
in
God,
his career.
Danny. I mean, this dude talking about making a name for yourself just like that. I mean, he really is. Teams have to account for him when they get ready to play us.
And just taking a look at the results of that, you have Isaiah Buggs, a sack, forced fumble. The result of that is a fumble recovery that really changed the momentum of this game going into halftime. James Houston, that sack, that was to end the first half.
Yep.
That's putting another dagger in that Minnesota Vikings offense. Jerry Jacobs, his sack led to 2nd and 19.
And guess who he beat on that sack?
Who?
TJ Hawkinson.
Oh, God.
That's who he beat to
Awkward.
get that sack. So, yeah.
You love to see that. And then Hutch, his 1 sack for 7 yards led to a 2nd and 17. So putting the Vikings in very uncomfortable, unfavorable long shots on offense was the result of this defense. How uncomfy was Kirk Cousins today?
He very uncomfortable. Danny, that was just the sacks that you showed. Pressures, hits. They were around Kirk. A couple of times you could kind of see him rushing the ball off when he didn't have to, but that was a direct result of them getting around him early in the game, making him feel them around him. And anytime you could do that to a quarterback, speed a quarterback up, you can have some success against them.
Safety Kirby Joseph had some more success today. He was the one that recovered that fumble from Isaiah Buggs, which was a massive play there in the first half. Kirby Joseph is just having one heck of a season. Taking a look at it now, 2 forced fumbles, that 1 fumble recovery, 3 interceptions on the season, 5 he's everywhere. Instinctually, how elite are his ball instincts?
Oh, very elite. Danny, you remember when Tracy Walker went down and we were like, oh my goodness.
Worried, yeah.
These young guys have stepped up, and they have stepped up in a major way, and no more than what Kirby Joseph has done. He's been, like I say, he's been everything that you could ask for out there. He seems to be becoming a leader more and more on the defensive side of the ball, keeping those guys aligned. When he comes up to make a tackle, he makes that tackle, and he supports the run very, very well. So Jerry's been doing a great job. Kirby's been doing a great job all season long, and I just hope he just continues the rise that he's on, because all this experience that these young guys are getting now is just going to be great for us in the years to come.
Yeah, and safety Tracy Walker was all over on Twitter today. It was great. He was live tweeting the game, currently rehabbing from his Achilles surgery, which he says is going really well right now, and he's ahead of schedule. So that is from Tracy Walker's Twitter. Let's take a look at the play of the game, and of course it was that Kirby Joseph fumble recovery, all because of big man Buggs' forced fumble there. This is 1st and goal. Vikings threatening to score right before the half. This could have been a dagger, tie this ball game up, and check out the speed on that. Kirby all over that ball and forces Detroit Lions to get back on offense.
Yeah, Danny, actually Minnesota was trying to jump pass. That's what they were going to try to do. Dalvin never got the ball really. Like you say, the nice hit from Isaiah Buggs knocked it loose, and Joseph was right on it, able to get there. And as you can see, he's coming up, and you can see the stutters by Dalvin Cook in the backfield. He wanted to throw that ball, but again, the penetration from Buggs was right on top of him, knocked the ball out. And who's there?
Kirby Joseph. If the ball is somewhere, Kirby Joseph is probably right next to it. General Manager Brad Holmes, what he has been able to do after drafting that rookie class, it's been pretty incredible. 7 of the 8 rookies now are playing. Unfortunately, cornerback Chase Lucas was just placed on IR there with an injury. So you have all the other ones making a massive impact. It's really great to see.
It is. It really is, because you don't expect that from the young guys, Danny. You expect these guys to be learning the game. You don't really expect these guys to step in and make, other than, the first pick like Aiden Hutchinson, but you don't expect these lower round guys to be able to step in and make the impact that they have been making for the Lions this year. So it's wonderful. I know Brad Holmes and them have to be happy about these young guys stepping in, getting quality playing time, but being impactful while they're out on the field.
Woo! Okay, that almost wraps up all of our coverage here from Ford Field. We have to take a look around the NFL. I mean, with Detroit knocking on the playoff doors, these scores get a little more interesting after the game. We already saw this, Thursday night, Rams getting a win over the Raiders. Boo. I'll just say it there, boo. Bills getting a big win over the Jets. Reminder, Detroit goes on the road to face the Jets next week in New Jersey. Bengals, Joey B for the first time, beats the Cleveland Browns. Massive. I know, it's crazy. Houston was up on Dallas most of the day. Cowboys make a comeback. Boo, right?
Boo. Boo.
Eagles getting a massive win over the New York Giants, 48-22. Ravens picking up a nice win over the Steelers, 16-14. Ravens, they might be back. Currently, the Carolina Panthers are leading the Seahawks 17-7. So that could be very massive.
Yeah.
Lions will go and play Carolina here on what? Are we on Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, yeah.
Christmas Eve. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Can I say this? With playoff implications. Wow.
Playoff implications. Yeah. So big implications are going to continue on the road for the Detroit Lions as they head to New York. I'm not sure what quarterback they're going to face. Let's be real. Mike White left the game about 3 times with broken ribs.
Yeah.
Finished the game, I believe. So we don't really know who they're going to see, but I know they will see that cornerback rookie you just saw his face up there.
Gardner.
Sauce.
Yes, he's good.
Detroit native, Sauce Gardner.
That's right. He is good. But look, Danny, I would rather see Zach than to see Mike White. I've been watching him. Yeah, Mike
White's
White.
been cooking.
Yes, he has, man. He looks good out there, Danny. He doesn't seem to get flustered. He doesn't make those silly mistakes that Zach was making out there. So I would rather see Zach out there, but if we have to face Mike White, we got to get pressure on him, make him feel us like Kirk Cousins did today, and hopefully he'll give us some turnovers or give us something favorable.
I think if they start Mike White, I'm serious, left the game 3 times to get x-rays for broken ribs. There's a high chance some turnovers are made if he starts.
I like it. Go for the ribs, Danny.
Lomas said it, not me.
Go for the ribs.
Look, I'm just a little girl. This is big fella. Like, don't drag me into this, okay? We have to end this before Lomas just goes off and says more things. Okay, for Lomas Brown, I'm Danny Rogers. That was Detroit Lions Live post-game show. Your final takeaway here real quick.
My final takeaway, great victory by the Detroit Lions today. We got some revenge on those Minnesota Vikings who we lost to in week 3 that we shouldn't have lost to. Now we're on the road to take on those New York Jets. Keep the playoff hopes alive.
Ooh, all right. That was a post-game show presented by MGM Grand Detroit. Hopefully we'll be back here soon. 2 weeks.
Yeah, but how was the crowd today? Wasn't the crowd awesome, Danny?
66,000 strong.
Awesome,
massive.
Man.
We love to see
we
it. All right.
love you guys.
The final 34-23. We'll see you next week in New Jersey.